Yeah. All right. Hello and welcome. Welcome to the Battle 52 Euro season. Starting off with a bang here today. We're going to be slipping and sliding around Wembley. Uh, I'm J Mob 357. I'll be your announcer for the night. My co announcer, dude named Dave, will be joining us in a moment here. Uh, We have had some technical difficulties. Apologize for the late start here, but we'll get rocking and rolling in just a moment.
All
All
right.
right. So first thing going on here, we did gather some new drivers in between the ending of last season and the beginning of this one. Jay Rosa uh, did technically join us last season. He participated in our final round of last season. He'll be joining us again this season as well. He's going to be rocking out in an E36. A lot of E36 is going to be out on the track, in fact, which is appropriate since it is a Euro series. We've also have our driver Reese. He's going to be rocking out there on the track in an E36 as well. Grizzy G is bringing an R34 Skyline to the mix. And we have Sabotage Albert. He's going to be slipping and sliding around in an S13. Dave, welcome.
Hey, how's it going?
Not
Excited
too
to
bad.
see the season start here. We've been silent for a while, so
Yeah,
it'd be nice to get back and drive with everybody.
It's good to be back.
A lot of new faces, just like you're going over. So it's fun, exciting when you get new people in and new driving styles, new people to learn from. So it should be a good round. The track is very technical. A lot of walls. We'll
That's
see
a
how
true story.
qualifying goes. I have a feeling we'll see a lot of contact.
I have a feeling you're right. Plus, we have that nice long turn going into that hairpin turn. It's going to be interesting. It's going to be interesting out there. We did actually lose a couple of our drivers. Transcendence and Blastoise have decided to step away from participating in the actual racing portion. They're still helping behind the scenes, so they're still here with us. They just won't be out showing their moves on the track this season.
Yeah, so both of them decided to go ahead and step into a different competitive series. One step above, trying to get that chase that pro series. So good on them using Battle 52 as a stepping stone, which is a great technique. Definitely, everyone's driving style has improved since I've started driving with the group, and everyone from day one is just immensely better. So it's definitely what it's good for in that stepping to that pro series.
Yeah, and I'm glad to see them going on to bigger and better things. We wish them well, and I can't wait to see them most likely moving up the ranks at whatever series they go to. Very, very good drivers. All right. No worries. So it's okay. I'll go lay down. I swear. All right. So we do have some warm up laps. Still finishing up here. Again, we are wrapping up some technical difficulties. But first up on our list for tonight is just going to be a qualifying night, seeing where everybody stands in the leaderboards before we go in for the actual competition night. Nick Graham, I believe, was set to be first. He may be joining us later in the evening. Sneeze Master is going to be our first contestant of the evening. But for right now, while we're still getting some things wrapped up, we got our drivers out, making sure that the stadium is meeting the minimum smoke content for the air.
Yeah, that's the driver's order there. Went ahead and posted in the chat. So if you're waiting to see one of your friends drive or anything like that, you can just check and see when they're coming up next.
Oh, right on. Okay. this.
Okay, looks like everybody's doing some good warm-up laps here.
I'll have to relearn everybody's vehicles again. I know I think just about everybody changed their cars. Did we have anybody stick with the local car?
Yeah, so Yuki Drift stayed with his Supra. He's still running the same one. Who else? We have CJ changed. Kyle Maravito still stayed with his original S15.
Hey, if it ain't broke.
Rebel.
Rebel change. Okay, gotcha.
No, well, Rebels. I think Rebels stick with his same car as well.
Those words, yeah.
And then Drowning Turtle stayed with his 350Z as well, just livery change.
Okay,
I think
right
other
on.
than that, I want to say everyone else changed cars.
Right on. Yeah, I know that this series. Oh, what are you driving this series, Dave?
So this series, I'm driving a FD. Went ahead and did a little LS swap in it. So completely different physics from what I'm usually used to driving. Usually I drive the Gravy Garage A86 physics. I've been running those physics for a while in comp. But this time I decided to change it up, went with the S13 matte. So it's completely different feel, completely different tuning style. So it's going to be a lot of learning curves. I know a lot of other drivers also change their physics up that they're usually running. So some are indifferent to it. I know myself during practice and leading up to the round one, I was kind of hesitant, wondering if I made a good choice or not, or if I should have just left it alone and stuck with the 8.6 physics. We shall see. So far, I think I've gotten the car kind of dialed in. It's going to need a little bit of fine tuning as the series goes on, which is usually the way it works.
Oh, for sure.
But it's definitely nice to be in a different set of physics. Car feels great. It's a very planted style. So, and then obviously running a LS gives way low in torque. Whereas before I was running, a lot of my cars had power up at the top end. So I'd have to keep revs really high and make sure RPM stayed up. Whereas this one, I don't really need to. It's almost like a set it and forget it type feel. So a lot more relaxed.
As long as your foot's on the pedal, you'll be fine.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
I gotcha. Right on. And I know that this series we upped the horsepower cutoff as well, right? We're running with more power this series.
This one's still running with the same as the Japan series, which was that 0.41 power to weight ratio is what we went with.
Right on.
So typical Gravy Garage car. So if you drive your Gravy Garage car straight out the box, it's going to be about 0.3435. We upped the horsepower the horsepower, which resulted in power to weight ratio changing a little bit to a 0.41. And just to give you kind of realization, like VDC cars are like 0.9, like 9.6. So you can kind of compare VDC versus where we're at versus original Gravy Garage cars. So we're just a little bit more power, and it just helps us, gives us the option to run a lot bigger tracks without getting too crazy to the street or out of that street style or street feel, if you will, with the car. So,
yeah. Plus, I know that everyone's been excited to have some more speed to play with since the beginning of the Japan series.
Yeah, and I think it's helped the drivers as far as their commitment and their confidence level. Truly, I noticed it a lot in the Japan series, which is when we first upped the horsepower. A lot of the drivers seem more confident and competent as well, going through the turns and just being able to make everything without having to worry about it and really get into tuning because you have that extra power to play with.
Yeah, and I know what you mean. I know that there was a couple of tracks where they had some very, very long corners that they had to play with some tricky entrances and exits that they had to make sure that they were right on. The extra power gives you a lot of the way that you can approach things as well. So.
Yeah, it does. It absolutely does. It's been nice. I've enjoyed the little power increase. I know it during the tech process, just like it does. It's a lot of making sure everything's good, making sure everybody's physics match up, all the cars work, and then so that way there's no changes from there. So.
and I know that I know it was definitely this season because we've got 16 drivers. We've got 16 drivers for this series.
Yeah, 16 for. There's Blastoise in the chat. Letting us know we got the black screen of death going on here. We are currently working through.
Also did not introduce our immediate person, KSI Fallen. He's our hero behind the scenes, making sure that everything looks great and our drivers look good out there.
There we go. Literally everything. That's good. Just working through getting the camera set up. I guess it's good for the drivers, gives them practice. Unfortunately for the viewers, we're just playing the waiting game.
We're just running with the lights off right now. We're just saving power. But yeah, unfortunately, yeah, it doesn't make for much excitement as far as.
We're also streaming. Usually we stream on Twitch. We're also streaming on YouTube for us as well. So, which I haven't even checked out yet. But that's pretty neat. Kind of get that side started.
Do we have a link for that if folks on the Twitch stream want to check it out?
Go ahead and talk for me.
Yeah.
Hello. Hello.
I hear audio now.
Awesome. Awesome. Thank you, Dave.
Yep. Battle 52 stream on YouTube. That's kind of where it fits. Sorry.
Oh, I didn't actually know that.
So now we push it out to 2 weeks, and now it's going to one comp per month. So we end up having competition. It's definitely extended out. That's just to give the drivers and media and all of us kind of a little bit of a break. It is taxing doing it, or it can be rather. We have qualifying, which is today, the 10th, and then we have the 24th is going to be round one competition, so January 24th. And then again, the 7th of February is going to be round two qualifying.
All right. Yeah, Javiel. Unfortunately, we're still working out some kinks behind the scenes. We've been struck by the dreaded technical difficulties. So hopefully, we will be able to get running in just a moment here. We do have some drivers out on the track while we're still getting everything sorted out. They're doing some more warm ups, having some fun out. We will have some stuff to watch in just a moment. Alrighty. Yeah, I know that. Yeah, I'm honestly glad that we did decide to space out the season a little bit.
Yeah, it could be a lot. When we were running weekly, it was a lot. It was competition, and the next week competition, next week competition. It was good for driver and seat time and stuff, but it
Oh,
was
for
just a lot
sure, yeah.
between getting judges, everyone set up, and things like that. And at that time, we were where there wasn't a set car pack, so it was like updates constantly going on, and uh, so now we kind of starting to fine tune it a little bit and get it to where now it's comfortable and hopefully not too crazy for most people. So, and plus
Yeah,
being on a set out schedule, you can kind of pinpoint, okay, hey, today or tonight is when I need to make sure that we're up and running and good to go. So,
absolutely. And I know that down the line, speaking of that, of having things planned out a little bit more, we do have some fun events planned down the line as well,
yes,
just to
there
keep
is.
things interesting.
Yep. Yeah. Exactly. Just to keep everyone, because we do have so many new drivers, it lets everyone kind of get used to each other's driving style between the fun rounds and fun events. Things like VDC car competition, low power car competition, toge battles, grip racing, things like that. Just to kind of get everybody used to each other and their driving style. So that way, which helps in competition because now you can see how maybe someone drove that maybe you've done a bunch of laps with them. Now you know how they drive and you can kind of anticipate, okay, I know that they're maybe heavy on the e-brake during initiation or their transitions are very snappy and fast. So it allows you to kind of anticipate and then works for better competitions in the end.
Absolutely. Plus, plus, I do like that we do have the different events to work with. I'm honestly quite excited to see how the low power event turns out. I think that's going to be an interesting one.
Yeah, yeah. It's a completely different driving style between that. You know what I mean? It's a lot of tuning and just making sure everything's good.
Hmm.
Um, I personally I enjoy driving lower powered cars just because it lets you work for it a little bit more. Um, whereas, I mean, I say that, but then VDC is a whole other ballgame as well because of that power is just absurd.
That's true. That is very true.
So, uh, luckily, Gravy Garage, Gravy Garage, WDTS, things like that. That like that power spectrum is really kind of in that middle um, between the two. So
Absolutely, yeah.
it's not too crazy.
No, it's they're great. They're great packs to drive on, and I've honestly been doing a bit of learning, particularly with the Gravy Garage setup. Um, I know that I've been running with some of their lower power stuff, well, relatively lower power stuff to kind of improve my drifting skills. I'm still very much in the learner stage, and hoping to get out at some point in the future and maybe get on a track and do some actual drifting myself at some point. But uh, for right now, I'm just taking advantage of the Upper Peninsula winters and some parking lots for right now.
Yeah, a lot of drivers use Assetto as an off season tool to help them with their supplement. I guess their real life driving, which is
Absolutely.
great. It's a great tool to have. You know what I mean? It's awesome.
Yeah, and I know that uh, we've asked a couple of times if our drivers feel that Assetto Corsa has helped sharpen their skills in the real world, and it's been a resounding yes. Most of our drivers do drifting in real life, and they've said that it's absolutely helped. It's helped them try some new techniques without as much of the risk in the real world.
Mm-hmm.
I know that someone was talking about how they kind of got down left foot braking much better in Assetto, and it translated almost perfectly to out on the track, which is awesome. I love to see that.
Yeah, it's definitely a tool you didn't have or you didn't see around, 10 years ago.
That's
Yeah.
true.
Let me go practice. You know what I mean? When I was growing up, it was all right, cool. Let me go watch an option video and then go practice and find a gravel parking lot and practice yanking my e-brake,
Yeah.
or wait till it rained.
Or wait till it rained. Yeah, there's that too.
And now you have people that are just strictly sim, and then they go out to a track and they, after 2 runs, they're linking tracks first time out. So it's awesome. It's cool.
It's a wonderful world we live in.
Are you guys gonna hop over to general chat and stream it to chat since y'all are on the server?
Wait, what?
The stream. It's not happening tonight, is it? Oh, they were starting. That's why I thought y'all just called it.
Mm.
Why are you getting so frustrated?